We Brits are well known as a nation of animal lovers, aren't we? But how much can we really tell about our pets? Well, we've got some huge surprises in store for you today because we're meeting the real-life Dr. Dolittle pet psychic Amelia Kinkade. Now, she claims that she can talk to the animals and reveal their thoughts and innermost feelings. I think I'm going to need a bit of convincing on this one, but we'll find out on today's Psychic Show. First guest says anyone can learn to talk with animals. That's right, just you or me can do it. It might sound crazy, but she says you can tackle behavioural problems or even just find out what their favourite food really is. Can it be done? Well, let's ask the lady herself, Amelia Kinkade. Welcome. Now, you've come over from the States, and I can already hear a lot of people saying, oh, this is just another one of those fluffy therapies that, you know, it's just a step too far for us to really deal with. So, can you honestly and truly really talk to animals and have them talk back to you, more importantly?
Well, there are less skeptics in England than anywhere else because
Really?
the people here are so incredibly intelligent and they love their animals so much.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about here is the language of imagery. Animals are thinking in pictures at all times, and they're feeling emotion at all times, and they're sending out this information into the world around them. It's no different than what we're doing. The only difference is that we describe the pictures we're holding in our minds in language. So if you were to eliminate that language and start paying attention to the images that you're picking up and the feelings you're getting from other living beings, then all of a sudden you have this uncanny ability to receive.
So I could do it? You're saying that
Absolutely.
I could do it?
Everybody can do it.
All right, well, we'll save that maybe for a later date because Amelia's going to be joining us all week. But how did you find out that you had psychic powers?
Completely by accident. I was the world's biggest skeptic, and there was a woman working with my vet, and I took my cat to see this animal communicator. She described the inside of my condo. She described things in my life there was no way she could have known.
So very specific.
Very specific. She was teaching a workshop that are like the workshops I now teach, and I discovered in the course of a day that I could receive so much intuitive information that I could help troubleshoot and solve problems with animals.
And you've been doing that over here because I heard this wonderful story, I'm going to let you share it with everybody, about when you met the horse guards at Buckingham Palace. What happened there?
One of the horses at Buckingham Palace called another horse by name and said that he missed his friend that used to stand in the stall next to him and that that horse had gone up north. Yeah. Well, I had no way of knowing that the procession horses were ever moved out of Buckingham Palace. Come to find out, the horse that stood next to him had been moved up to Prince Charles' hunting facility. And so then I got to go visit the horse that the other one named by name.
Yeah.
Up at the...
So you're standing, having a little chitty-chatty with the horse while the mounted guard has to remain silent. Were they wowed by this sort of wealth of knowledge that you had?
They were so receptive. It was absolutely magnificent.
Fantastic. Well, somebody else who's been receptive to your powers is a lady in the audience here, as you saw, with a lovely dog, Taz, in the audience. But Jo, let's come to you first. Tell us a little bit how you met Amelia and what the problems that Taz had.
Well, I read Amelia's book first of all, and then contacted Amelia through her website because I was so interested in what she was doing. And I had Tazzy, who was a very, very distressed rescue dog when I first had her, and I wanted to know more about her background.
So how did Amelia prove to you? I don't know, are you open-minded on this sort of thing? I presume now you're...
Open-minded, but a little sceptical about some of it when I started.
So how did she prove to you that she really was talking to Tazzy?
The first interesting thing was that she said that on the morning that she met Tazzy, she was going to put perfume on and then stopped because she thought Tazzy wouldn't like it. And Tazzy certainly doesn't like perfume.
Isn't that something that maybe most dogs, though, would perhaps have an aversion to?
She seems to be very strongly averse to it. In fact, she wouldn't let a friend of mine into my car when she was wearing perfume one day.
Right. And how has her behaviour improved since dealing with Amelia?
I think we understand each other better.
Right.
So we have more fun together because I believe that she actually is thinking things out a bit more than I'd perhaps given her credit for.
And she had had a tough life beforehand. She had been badly treated. So does that help you? Perhaps, you know, her behaviour now has changed, I presume.
It has changed a lot. And Amelia was able to tell me some more things about her past as well, which were really helpful.
Right, okay. Well, thank you very much for sharing that. We wanted to put you to the test on your first day, Amelia, aren't we cool? But we wanted to really see if somebody else could benefit from your experience. And we have a lovely lady and her cat, Muffin, who she's looking after. Can we bring them on, please? Where are they? Here they are. We're keeping it a little bit, no clapping. You come and sit down just so that we don't... Because Muffin, who we heard meowing a little back there earlier on, is a very nervy cat, another rescue cat. And Jane, you are her foster parent.
That's
I didn't
right.
know that animals
That's
could
right.
have foster parents.
Yes, yes. Within the cat's protection, we do. We home them. We take them from people where they haven't got a home, or they're found abandoned or stray, and we attempt to find homes for them.
Okay, so what's Muffin's problem? Why can't she find a home?
Well, she's been with us, or he's been with us for 6 months now, and during that time he's very, very nervous, very shy, and hates to be on his own. If he's on his own, he gets really fretful and cries,
Okay.
to the point that he will actually start to mark his territory, which can be a problem when he's actually placed in a home.
All right, so what we're going to do today, Amelia, is we'd like you, just in the meantime, while we're carrying on with the show, is having a chat with Muffin, see what you think. Is there anything you're picking up so far, can I ask you?
It's very obvious to me that he was taken away from his mother too early, and he needs to be in a colony of cats in the company of several other cats. So leaving him alone is just out of the question.
Right.
Okay,
right,
and you've got
okay.
3 specific questions
have, yes.
for Amelia. Well, we'll come back to those and see if
Okay.
she can answer them very specifically, I have to
Okay.
add, because we are going to be testing you today. It's beyond my comprehension, but we'll see. Thank you for
Okay.
joining us so far, and
Thank
we will
you.
see you a little later. Now, moving on, and we sent Amelia Kinkade away with Muffin, the rescue cat, to find out why she's so afraid of being left on her own. What have you deduced so far?
When he was very, very small, he had wandered away from his mother before his eyes were even open. And so the idea of darkness and being isolated gives him a feeling of terrible claustrophobia. He has nightmares and night panic. He needs to be around other cats. I mean, he's craving a colony of cats.
Right.
He's showing me a black and white cat that's his favorite cat, and says that it's on a perch up high or in a window up high at home.
Does that make sense to you, Jane?
There is a cat that sits in the pen that does sit up high, but it's not black and white. And he does have a favourite friend, but it's not black and white. So there's bits there, but
okay,
not...
Okay, well, let's go with that for the moment, because you did have 3 very specific questions that
yes.
we did ask you. And
Yes.
just remind us what they were.
The first one was, how old's Muffin?
This is one of the most difficult things to determine, but I was getting about 2 years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's between 2 and 3.
Okay.
He had told me 2.
Next question.
Does he have a favourite place where when he's in the house, because we bring him in the house, where he likes to sit?
He said his favorite bed is rose-colored. He likes something that's red.
Right.
He also likes to snuggle right here in
Yes.
his mother's neck,
Yes,
right here.
he does.
And he also likes being on a heater.
Yes.
Okay, he had told me that he missed his sister that was a tortoiseshell.
Oh, right.
And there was a big fat yellow cat with a white chin that is another one that he loves very much.
Well, the next question was, does he have a favourite friend? And his favourite friend that he actually came into the cat's protection with is another Persian, and he's actually sort of yellow coloured.
It's the
and he's
tortoiseshell.
and he's more fluffy than Muffin, so that would piss
I think
piss
they
him,
were
but it's
related.
not, yeah, it's not tortoiseshell, but it's a yellow colour.
But let me just jump in there then, because that to me sounds quite fascinating. I have to assure you once again, it was just Amelia and Muffin in a room together. We didn't have anybody else in there, apart from a researcher taking notes, and she gave you no clues whatsoever. So how surprised are you and convinced by you of Amelia's powers?
Well, I think there's definitely something in it, and I think, you know, if we can learn to communicate with our cats, certainly in the role that we have, it's a great help for them. And if it helps us to make cats happier and find more suitable homes for them, then it's certainly got to, you know, be something that we take on board.
Is there enough that Amelia said to you to convince her? I mean, it seems to me quite specific, but you obviously know Muffin a lot better than everybody else.
Yes, I think some of the things there that you said, I think the only thing with his favourite place we've found is that he loves to be under the table.
Yeah.
And we thought that was probably because he's so shy, he's frightened, and he
So
feels
what
more
about the
secure
problem
there.
then, being so frightened? What can we do? Because I wouldn't have thought it would be easy to put him in a colony of cats.
Well, he's got to be relocated with other cats where he can bond to other cats. There's a complaint about a little white dog. that
Yes.
looks like a Jack Russell.
That's-
Says that they
yes,
barks.
that's next door. That's spot
that
on.
dog bothers him very, very much.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
said his favorite color food bowl is blue. He's a salmon eater. He loves
I'm sure,
salmon.
well, yeah, pedigree cat, yeah, probably does.
And he said that he's been seeing someone at home painting.
That's right, yes, yes.
Is it, I mean, you're talking about this so calmly. Is this true? I mean,
Yes, when he's in the house, we have been painting the bathroom and he has been watching that, so he's obviously taken it all in.
Okay, well, I said at the top of the programme I wasn't that convinced. I'm becoming much more that way now. I find that absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much for joining us today. And good luck with Muffin. Let us
Thank
know
you.
how he gets on.
Thank you.